Hi everyone, my name is Maria, and in this video I will be sharing with you some tips on how I was able to save over $10,000 in just over 3 months. If you're new to my channel, welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, welcome back. I make videos on all things related to minimalism, frugal living and personal finance, and other lifestyle videos. So make sure to hit the like button and subscribe down below for more content. So let's get started. These tips are in no particular order, so I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with it. My first tip is to increase your income. You can increase your income by getting new skills that not a lot of people have just to make yourself more competitive. You can also get a new job and ask for a raise, or you can even sell things on Facebook Marketplace or Kijiji or some other resale websites. For me personally, last year, I got myself a new job and where I landed a new role and got myself a raise. I also continuously sell things on Facebook Marketplace on things that I no longer need or use as I continue through my minimalism journey. My next tip is for you to figure out what is a want versus what is a need. Again, this whole thing is really based on budgeting and knowing where your money is going. We live in a time where we're constantly bombarded with advertisements from social media, from television, from just even walking down the street, and we see a sign on a store that says that things are for sale. So if you're really focused on saving money, try not to focus too much on the trends and keeping up with the Joneses. Really just try to focus on what it is that you're saving for and a goal that you have. For me, I rarely go shopping, and when I do go buy something, it's because something is missing that I need in my wardrobe or in my home. So if you're really focused on saving money, try not to focus too much on the trends and what other people are thinking, but really focus on the goal that you have and setting your sights towards it. I try to focus on buying quality pieces so that I don't constantly have to repurchase and buy items that aren't really made in good quality conditions that would just rip to shreds or would just disintegrate after going through the wash. So yeah, just try to focus on buying quality rather than quantity. My next tip is for you to figure out a way to reduce your expenses. For my husband and I, our basic expenses were our rent, our utilities, our food, and gas that we spend for the car. I think that's about it. So looking at those basic expenses, we looked at areas where we were able to eliminate even just a little bit of money. For my husband and I personally, we looked at our grocery bill. Looking at our groceries, we were spending quite a bit of money, especially just for 2 people in a household. And a lot of the items were either not being used up all the way or were going bad by the end of it. So instead of grocery shopping once a week, we ended up grocery shopping once every 2 weeks, just to make sure that all the ingredients that we bought are completely used up and that nothing goes bad. You can also try to get rid of other expenses that you have, whether it be your cable if you're not really using it as much because you have subscriptions like Netflix or Amazon Prime or Disney Plus. You can also maybe get rid of a landline. I know some people still have landlines in their homes, but for me personally, I tend to just rely on my cell phone for phone calls. It just all depends on people's individual circumstances. So yeah, try to find ways to reduce your expenses if possible and use that money to put that towards your savings. My next tip is to cook a majority of your meals or almost all of it at home. For me personally, I love food, and so this was something that was really hard for me to do, but really cooking your own meals, you have a lot more control over what it is that you're making based on what your mood is, based on what's in your fridge and freezer, based on what it is that you need to use up so that things don't go bad. And so this will really help save a lot of money. I know we saved a lot of money on this, especially early on during the pandemic. For the pandemic, my husband and I ate out quite a number of times a week, whether it be just a quick slice of pizza or a Chinese takeout or whatever it is. And so by not eating out as much and cooking more at home, we were able to spend a lot more time together and save a lot of money as well. My next tip is for you to use cashback apps like Rakuten or Ebates, as well as credit cards when you're purchasing items. For me personally, whenever I purchase an item online, I make sure to take a look at Rakuten to see if there's any cashback out of that. So personally for me, back in December, I made sure to utilize Rakuten whenever I was purchasing gifts. And so out of this, I think I got about like $70 cash back, especially just from purchasing items that I would have purchased anyways because it was Christmas time. Try to use a cashback system like that. If you don't have Rakuten, there's also other credit cards that would have some type of rewards points back, whether it be like loyalty points or cash back. Personally for me, I have President's Choice MasterCard where I get points back and I could use that towards groceries, and I use that especially whenever I'm going grocery shopping. I just make sure to use the loyalty points that I've earned instead of actually spending money. My next tip in terms of saving $10,000 was making sure that I pay myself first. So whenever I get paid, I have an automatic deposit into a different account so that it's like it wasn't even there and I don't get tempted to use that money for something else. So making sure that I pay myself first and that I have some money set aside for my basic expenses, which I already know because of a budget that I have, and having the extra funds going into a different account so that I'm not tempted to use that for different purchases that I might get tempted on. So yeah, make sure to pay yourself first whenever you get paid. My next tip is for you to have a savings goal. Having a savings goal will really help motivate you so that you know that there's an end in sight that you're working towards. I know personally for me, I like to have goals because I want to know that by the end of everything that I'm working hard towards, that there's an actual goal in sight and that it's achievable. I know personally for me, I wanted to have a goal of paying off my OSAP tuition, which is my student loans for those who are in the States, within 2 years of graduating. And so I made sure to set that goal, to have that goal in sight so that I can work towards it and I can plan accordingly. You can do this by taking a look at your budget, what your basic expenses are, and the money that's coming in, and subtracting that. And then whatever's left over, that can just go towards your savings. Or if you want to have a little bit of wiggle room, just putting some money set aside for some more fun, just for like a fun category, whether it be eating out or something like that. But yeah, whatever's left over from your basic expenses and whatever's fun money, then that can go towards your savings goal for whether it be like a car, OSAP payment, a house, down payment, etc. And then this tip is for you to just sell items that you are no longer using or no longer need. I know personally for me, I make use of Facebook Marketplace a lot. I've sold so many items on Facebook Marketplace, from clothing to home decor items to small appliances. I've actually sold items from my parents' home and I just get a little bit of a commission, I guess, out of that. But yeah, I make sure to sell those items on Facebook Marketplace if it's no longer needed or is no longer being used. And I make sure whatever savings or whatever money that I get from those sales, I just make sure to put that away towards a savings goal that I have. Then yeah, I just make sure to put that money aside so that I'm not tempted to use that money right away. So those are all my tips for today. I hope that you all were able to take something out of it and that you found those tips helpful and that you could use those tips in your personal life as well. If you liked it, please make sure to give this video a like for the YouTube algorithm, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also make sure to hit the bell notification so that you'll get notified when I post new videos. Thanks everyone for watching, and I hope that you all have a great day. Bye!